it's ChrystalChyna, and we're back with another Musicology. Let's get it! We are so excited about this Musicology video, or episode, I should say. Yes. But before we get into this episode of Musicology 101 with ChrystalChyna, we wanted to let you guys know again and again that we, ChrystalChyna, are on TikTok.
Period.
And you guys can follow us. You guys can conversate, or I would say converse with us. Yes, like TikTok is a lot of fun for Chyna and I, and we want to connect with you guys on another platform. So yes, follow us. And after this video, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Please, and before you forget, just subscribe right now.
Right now. And press that like button because you are going to like this video.
Period. Just saying.
All right, let's get into it.
So today's Musicology, like all the others, is on someone very special to us.
Right.
One of our vocal inspirations, somebody that we have looked up to since we were children.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they were once a child star who went on to have their own career as adults. And, you know, just somebody that we have looked up to in the industry, and hopefully somebody we can meet one day. Hopefully they see this video and they like it.
Right.
I hope that's not asking for too much. But let's just get into this drum roll.
Yeah,
okay?
let's do it.
Stephanie Mills, let's get it. Stephanie was born Stephanie Dorothea Mills to Joseph and Christine Mills on March 22nd, 1957 in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, New York.
Best I do or die.
Best I do or die, Brooklyn. Miss Mills, Stephanie, I'm sorry. Me and Crystal, we just don't like referring to like our elders or grown people as their first names, but for the sake of this video, we're gonna say Stephanie. Stephanie began honing her skills as a young child at Brooklyn's Cornerstone Baptist Church.
Starting
young in the church. That's the key. She started in the church.
That's the key to a great singer. Just saying.
Clearly, you can tell where we're going with this because she started in the church. That's a whole different level of vocal training.
Exactly. It was at the age of 9 when Stephanie began her professional career when she starred in the Broadway musical Maggie Flynn, where she played an endangered black child endangered during the New York draft riots in 1963. From there on, Stephanie went on to perform at the iconic and legendary Apollo Theater, where she won an amateur night 6 weeks in a row at the age of 11.
11 years old.
Doing it.
Amateur night at the Apollo now.
That
you guys are familiar, like, even from, you know, the last 30 years, Showtime at the Apollo, you know, and from our generation, you guys can imagine how tough that is. So I could imagine even back then how even more tough it was.
Right.
So that's a major deal to do that at 11 years old.
Exactly.
A little powerhouse. This opportunity from the Apollo and all the notoriety she was starting to get, it led her to an opportunity to open up for the Isley Brothers, and that also led to a lifelong friendship with
Ronald
Isley. Period.
The legendary.
Yes. I'm taking care of business. Woman, can't you see? I gotta make it for you. I got to make it for me.
The new song, the new one he just put out, the Isley Brothers. I have to put that out there because he is like over 80 years old and he is still working and putting music out.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Great music.
Yes.
We love Ronald Isley.
Yes, we do.
That's what we grew up on.
Right.
Around the same time, Stephanie was signed to Paramount Records by Michael Barbero, and soon after that, her first single, I Knew It Was Love, was released. Stephanie later signed with Motown after the suggestion of Miss Suzanne DePass. You know, if you know, you know.
Right.
I mean, iconic. However, after her first 2 albums with the label and, you know, failing to produce any hits with them, she did leave Motown in 1976.
It wasn't until Stephanie originated the role of Dorothy in the 7-time Tony Award-winning musical, Broadway musical, I would add, The Wiz, which was the African-American version, or black version, the black version of The Wizard of Oz, that her stardom actually began to take off.
Yeah.
Her song Home from the play The Wiz actually became one of her signature songs that she still performs to this day. To this day.
Voice still crisp as ever, as if she just recorded it yesterday.
Right. And that's actually a song that I took on when I was younger to learn how to stretch my vocals and to be, following to Miss Mills' footsteps. Because nobody can do it like her.
Right.
But yes, that was actually a song that I could say for you too, that I feel like every little black girl that could sing back in the day when they was kids had to learn how to sing Home. And I feel like that's a great song to, first of all, learn your vocal ability and extend your vocal ability and agility and all that good stuff. Yeah. So yes, I love her version of Home, and I really appreciate that people acknowledge her version. Well, that's her song,
right?
So period. But
period.
I just love you, Miss Stephanie. I hope you see this.
There will later be a film depiction of The Wiz, as we all know it. Most people did not get to see it on Broadway, so a lot of people know the movie. About 3 years later, after the original Broadway, however, Dorothy's character, instead of it being Stephanie in the film, it was depicted by Diana Ross.
And I do want to add, just like how I had to sing Home, I was in a Wiz production. I was a red dancer. I was so proud because I was doing my thing. I wouldn't be caught dead. Yeah, but I love, me and Chyna always joke. We be like, The Wiz is low-key a horror movie. I have never seen the play. Like, I've never seen.
We never got to see it on Broadway.
Yeah,
we
clearly
were born in the wrong decade, but that's neither here nor there.
But like we always joke. Yeah, when them monkeys be coming out, like, that's scary.
That's scary.
Yes, that is scary.
And I love watching The Wiz, but I'm like, I never got to admit that movie low-key
it's a little scary.
Love it nonetheless. It's for the culture.
Right.
Go to the feeling that we had. The feeling that we had. I love that song.
Yeah, I love that song. I love that scene. Slowly road now, you start to grow.
But the thing about The Wiz on Broadway, which is where it originated, it did open doors for what we know now for Black on Broadway, if that makes sense. The same way that Raisin in the Sun opened the doors for The Wiz on Broadway, The Wiz on Broadway opened up the doors for like Dreamgirls.
Right.
I don't even know if like anybody ever thought about that, but the importance of Black people on Broadway, because I feel like it's really not talked about enough. However, we have so much icon status when it comes to us being on Broadway and the way that we're able to get our stories across. Like, who would have ever thought of our take on The Wizard of Oz?
Right.
And it's different. It's like, other than like the actual, characters itself, as far as, we're going to keep the characters, it's totally different. It's a totally different experience. And it really just goes to show how creative Black people are. We are very creative people. So Raisin in the Sun paved the way for The Wiz, and The Wiz, it paved the way for Dreamgirls and any other Black on Broadway that there is now after that. That all came, really from The Wiz, and The Wiz came from Raisin in the Sun. Although Stephanie was on the rise after her run with The Wiz, she still had to work out what her sound was going to be as a young woman, because it's like, now, I have this going, and people want to hear music from me, but I'm also a young woman. I'm not actually like this little girl. I have to figure out what is going to work for me musically. So that's really what she was focusing on, like mid to late 70s. around the time that the run of The Wiz was.
So by 1979, Stephanie ended up signing with 20th Century Fox, where she released Put Your Body in It, You Can Get Over, and What You Gonna Do With My Lovin'. The resulting album, What You Gonna Do With My Lovin', it was actually her first gold record. So she was getting up there.
Yes.
She was making that name, and she found her niche on her sound.
Yes.
She wasn't just the little Broadway musical girl. She actually was. She was going to be an R&B artist. With the success of her What You Gonna Do With My Lovin' album.
What you gonna do with my lovin'?
Yes, that one. She followed up back in 1980 with another sweet sensation, which followed another hit, another one of our favorites, Never Knew Love Like This Before. Yeah.
Never knew love like this before. Open my eyes, 'cause I never knew love like this before. What a surprise! I never knew love like this before. Oh, I never knew love like this before. Now I'm lonely nevermore. Since you came into my life. Ooh.
Yes! I love that song.
Childhood.
I can't wait to experience what she was talking
I
about.
never knew a love like this before.
The single was written by our favorite James Ntume as well as Reggie Lucas. The single went on to be a number 12 R&B hit as well as a number 6 pop hit, and it also reached number 4 on the UK singles charts back in 1980.
Stephanie followed this album with her 5th studio album, self-titled Stephanie, in 1981. This album was also produced by James Ntume and Reggie Lucas. The album featured the hit Two Hearts, which was a duet between her and the iconic Teddy Pendergrass. The Come On and Go With Me. That one. As if there's any other.
Right.
That Teddy Pendergrass. The title album Stephanie also scored Mills a second nomination for Best R&B Vocal at the 1982 Grammy Awards. So
Period.
she was getting her noms, okay? The self-titled album Stephanie garnered Stephanie a second nomination for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance in 1982 for the 24th Annual Grammy Awards. Subsequently, this fulfilled her contract with 20th Century Fox when the label was sold to a company called Polygram, which eventually became Casablanca Records. It was on Casablanca Records that Stephanie released her next album titled Merciless.
The album includes 2 R&B Billboard hits called Pilot Era, a cover of Prince's How Come You Don't Call Me No More, and a song written by the legendary Luther Vandross, Lufa, My Body. Merciless received a nomination for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance at the 1984 Grammys. At the same time in 1984, Stephanie went on to return to her role as Dorothy in a short-lived revival of The Wiz. Between 1986 and 1987, Stephanie returned, and she returned big because she had a big comeback. She had a big comeback. She returned to the R&B charts 3 times with 3 major hits, and those hits were I Have Learned to Respect the Power of Love, written by the Angela Winbush. I Feel Good All Over. I Feel Good All Over. Love that song. Childhood. And You're Putting a Rush on Me. Stephanie continued her success when in 1989 she released her Home album. On that album, it included, of course, Her Home, which is her song. That is her signature. Her standard. That is her song, period. The album also included songs like Comfort of a Man and another song written by the Angela Winbush, Something in the Way You Make Me Feel. Something in the way you make me feel. Tell you, babe, something in the way you make me feel. You make me feel real. You make me feel real. And it makes me feel real good. I don't know
one, but she definitely has like her own
sound.
her own style. Because like when you think about it, if you know like old Layla Hathaway songs, like baby, don't cry, it definitely kind of sounds like something
like that beat.
Like she has her. I just love when people have their own sound, and it literally does not sound like
it's like I could hear a song that I've probably never heard before, but I'm able to pin out. I bet you she wrote that.
Exactly.
And I'd be right every time.
Home, the album, actually became another platinum record for Stephanie.
Stephanie had a brief recording career in the 90s, and then she also returned to another short-lived revival of The Wiz back in 1993. So over the course of Stephanie's career, she did release 13 albums, including a gospel album, and she's been able to maintain relevancy even on her breaks and everything. Everybody has always been interested into what Stephanie Mills is doing with her music. I follow Stephanie Mills on social media. Stephanie is very active on social media. I have been following her, just her career since I was a child, you know, especially learning Home and being familiar with The Wiz.
There's a picture that I'm going to try to find. And it's a picture of one of us like newborns, new babies with our dad. If you look closely, you can see a cassette tape of the Home album.
Right.
Our mom, she always said, I wore that album out.
Exactly. It would be in the car, at home, in the stereo.
Yes.
So we grew up on Stephanie Mills, and she's done a great job with connecting with, I guess, the younger generation, and again, maintaining her relevancy so that we know who she is, and she's keeping her legacy alive. And she's still here, and she's still very active. She's still performing, and she's amazing, and we adore Miss Stephanie.
Yes,
and
we adore Miss Stephanie. I hope she sees this. I would definitely not say, you know, Stephanie's unsung. Well,
no,
Miss Stephanie.
Miss Stephanie.
Sorry. Miss Mills, I would not say that she's unsung. I would definitely say I feel like she is underappreciated. But I hope that Musicology from ChrystalChyna reaches the masses, because I really want the young people to understand what singing actually is. It's not debatable. And music actually is. It's not debatable. Either it's great.
It don't matter what sound you do. It's nothing wrong with having an alternative sound, but you still have to
it's like, if you're going to call yourself a singer, you got to be able to sing. And I will hope Miss Stephanie would agree with me. But the perfect example is Stephanie Mills, an amazing singer. She's been an amazing singer her whole career. Of course, every singer has to grow, but she has been an amazing singer, a powerhouse her entire life. So I just want all of the young people, because that's really who we want to reach with Musicology, the young people. Look at Stephanie Mills. If you are trying to become a singer, you're interested in learning to become a singer, you have something that's there, but you want to develop it, listen to Stephanie. Like, she is a master. Okay? She is a master of her work. But
love her. We hope you guys enjoyed this Musicology 101 episode with ChrystalChyna. We will be back with more. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. And let us know who you guys would like to see next in the comments.
Yes. We love you guys.
Bye.